Good day, I'm Carrie-Ann Smith and this is your JIS News for Friday, February 27. Chief Economist at the Ministry of Finance and Planning, Everton McFarlane, says the 2015-2016 estimates of expenditure is a growth-supporting budget. He was speaking recently on JIS TV's Issues and Answers program. Mr. McFarlane pointed to the increase in capital expenditure and spending on social programs in this year's budget as measures that would help to spur growth in the economy.
Typically, a growth supporting budget or a growth supporting fiscal adjustment would tend to, over time, want to allocate relatively more resources to productive government expenditure.
Last week, the Minister of Finance and Planning, Dr. Peter Phillips, presented a budget of $641.56 billion for the upcoming fiscal year. The ministry's chief economist said this fiscal year, focus was being placed on areas that would seek to improve the quality of people's lives, such as public and health services delivery, education, and national security. There are also provisions for social programs, such as the Program of Advancement through Health and Education PATH, the National School Feeding Program, and Youth Empowerment Initiatives. Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller is encouraging Caribbean leaders to maximize the creative talents within the region to advance economic development. Mrs. Simpson Miller was addressing the 26th intersessional meeting of the Conference of Heads of Government in Nassau, Bahamas on Thursday. The Prime Minister advocated for the speedy advancement of the draft Regional Development Strategy and Action Plan for the cultural industries. She encouraged her CARICOM counterparts to seize the opportunity to ensure that the action plan is advanced so it can come before CARICOM heads for approval. The draft strategy aims to grow the creative economy by building more globally competitive cultural industries to create jobs and to better manage culture so the region reaps more benefits. Commerce Minister Anthony Hilton is calling for continued dialogue towards a more robust and effective intellectual property administration in the Caribbean. He was speaking on Monday at the World Intellectual Property Office IPO's preparatory meeting of heads of intellectual property offices of Caribbean countries. Minister Hilton pointed out that registering a patent in most CARICOM countries currently requires 15 sets of application under 15 different laws with accompanying registration fees.
We have to address this issue forthwith, particularly in terms of affordability, accessibility, and in terms of the subsequent appeal of these markets to local and foreign investors, and this especially by knowledge-based investors. In short, it is critical to the ease and speed of doing business.
He also pointed to the need for a regional framework for the protection of genetic resources, traditional knowledge, and traditional cultural expressions. All health facilities type 3 and above have been designated vaccination sites for parents to get their children fully immunized. Director of Family Health Services in the Health Ministry, Dr. Simone Spence, says this is in support of the ministry's 12-week measles prevention campaign for children between ages 1 and 6 years old.
So what we have done is basically opened up access and availability to the population during the campaign period of 12 weeks to ensure that whenever clients come, they are able to access the vaccines when they come.
The health centers are open Mondays to Fridays during normal working hours. Dr. Spence says parents need to take along the children's immunization cards or health development passports.
And once they take those, the public health team, which is usually either the public health nurse or the midwife within the clinic, would check, see what vaccines the child would be eligible for and administer same.
Dr. Spence was speaking at a recent JIS think tank. A permanent memorial to the victims of slavery and the transatlantic slave trade will be erected in March. The Jamaican-inspired monument is called the Ark of Return. It's endorsed by CARICOM and the African Union and will be erected at the United Nations headquarters in New York. Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade Minister Senator A.J. Nicholson recently called on Jamaica's diplomatic partners to provide greater financial support for the monument's completion.
I express profound gratitude to all those countries which have contributed to the fundraising efforts and encourage those who have not yet done so to use this window, which remains open, to meet the amount required for its completion.
And that's it for JIS News today. I'm Carrie-Ann Smith. Thanks for watching.